Ladies and gentlemen, I have always opined on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing just happens for the sake of it. Yesterday, the Nyamakima traders held massive demonstrations in Nairobi. And Kenyans have been asking themselves one question: who sponsored those demonstrations? And of course, if you ask people, I actually posted that question on my Facebook page, and I noted that most people believe that the demonstrations were actually organized by Moses Kuria and Rigathi Gachagua. Very few people believed that the demonstrations were organized by Uhuru, and then there's a small percentage who believed that the traders just organized themselves. But that's not important. The most important thing today is that Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, today met with the traders. And I noted the absence of Johnson Sakaja, the governor for Nairobi, during that meeting. Because there is no way you can meet with the traders of Nairobi or in Nairobi without Johnson Sakaja. Which begs the question: why was Johnson Sakaja locked out of this meeting? That's what I want us to look at in this particular video. Because I've always told you guys that on this channel, what we do is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. I know most of you guys might not even have noted that Sakaja was actually missing in this particular meeting, yet he was supposed to be the first person to be invited to this meeting. Now, let me just go through the post by Rigathi Gachagua, because I noted that Sakaja was missing, and the other guy who was missing is the Cabinet Secretary for Trade, Moses Kuria. Now, this is what is happening, what Rigathi posted, because I'm not going to edit the videos, just pay close attention. He's saying, listening to the people for inclusive and lasting decision is one of the Kenya Kwanza guiding principles. It is for this reason that I held a meeting with Nairobi-based small-scale traders at Arambe House Annex, Nairobi, today over challenges they presented as impediments to their businesses. At the meeting were top relevant government officials, including, just pay very close attention to those who attended this meeting, and then you'll probably answer me why Sakaja was missing. There was a Cabinet Secretary for Kithure Kindiki, Interior and National Administration. There was Dr. Alfred Mutua, Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, was present. Then there was the National Assembly Majority Leader, Kimani Ichung'wah. Kimani Ichung'wah was present here. Also present to listen to and act on the grievances were Trade Principal Secretary Alfred Kombudo. So I want to assume that Kombudo was representing Moses Kuria. That's why I'm not really focusing on the absence of Moses Kuria, because at least his ministry was represented here. And then his counterpart, Abu Bakar Hassan Abu Bakar, Investment, and Julius Korir, Cabinet Affairs. Others were Kenya Revenue Authority Board Chairperson Anthony Mwaura, Acting KRA Commissioner General Rispa Simiyu, Kenya Bureau of Standards Managing Director Benan Jiraini. Jiraini hako retire. Then there's the Director of Immigration Alexander Muteshi and Anti-Counterfeit Executive Director Robert Bugwa, and other heads of respective agencies. We agreed on a 3-week timeline for exhaustively consider the issues for comprehensive intervention. If you go through these photos, you realize that the meeting was actually a serious meeting. And I don't understand how the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya could meet traders, key traders in Nairobi, without the governor. Because each and every trader in this particular meeting, under Nyamakima or whichever party of Nairobi, the first thing they do is that whenever they want to open a business, they apply for a permit. Who grants the permit? The county government of Nairobi. So you meet the traders who pays certificate, who are licensed to do business with the Nairobi county government, yet the governor you don't include. You don't include even their officers. That's not an omission, it is deliberate. Because one thing you must note is that the Nyamakima traders played a key role for Kenya Kwanza. When they held that demonstration, the turnout was so massive. But I noted that just as a mere smell of tear gas, they took off. But let us not get into that as at now. Let us dwell on why Rigathi Gachagua decided to lock Johnson Sakaja out of this particular meeting, because we can't sugarcoat it. Sakaja was literally locked out of this meeting for reasons which we are going to explain. Now, why do you think this happened? Number one, I tend to think that Rigathi Gachagua is still suffering from Kikuyu supremacy. That every trader at Nyamakima is actually a Kikuyu. So what he's trying to do is that is degrading the businesses at Nyamakima to a Kikuyu affair. Remember, at some point, Rigathi Gachagua was very clear that it is him who delivered the votes, the Kikuyu votes in quotes, to Sakaja. So basically, it's now reducing the affairs of Nyamakima into a Kikuyu kind of business affair. And for me, that is why he locked Johnson Sakaja out of this meeting. Probably Sakaja would have had a different opinion, would have given his thoughts. Sakaja is not just an ordinary person. Sakaja is a former senator for Nairobi. He's a governor. You lock him out just because you want this thing to be a Kikuyu affair. Number two, I also tend to think that there's a way Rigathi Gachagua is fighting Sakaja. And he wants to make Sakaja appear as someone who is not caring as far as Kikuyu matters are concerned. Let us face the realities. How did Sakaja manage to become the governor for Nairobi? The answer is simple: Kikuyu votes. The Kikuyus in Nairobi, because most of them were supporting UDA, decided to vote for Sakaja under that banner of UDA. Sakaja is not a Kikuyu, just like Sonko became the governor of Nairobi because of the Kikuyu votes. And if you want to stop Sakaja from becoming the governor of Nairobi, you just remove the Kikuyu voting bloc. How do you remove the Kikuyu voting bloc? You start with the traders. You organize a meeting where their matters are discussed, then Sakaja is not there. What discussions do you think took place at Nyamakima in the evening? That their governor was not present. Probably they were told that we invited him, he sent apology. So he's not caring. So for me, that's how I'm looking at it. There is no any other way we can sugarcoat it. Number three, I also tend to think that Rigathi Gachagua is keen on becoming the next Kikuyu kingpin. And that can explain to some extent why Moses Kuria boycotted this event. But if you leave that, one of the things which made Kenya Kwanza win the support of the Kikuyu traders, for that matter, is that Uhuru Kenyatta was perceived to be fighting their interest. That he locked their markets, he started fighting counterfeits, which hugely affected their businesses. So Rigathi Gachagua and Kenya Kwanza came as their saviors. Then Rigathi Gachagua now has seen an opportunity of becoming the Kikuyu kingpin using the same traders. He wants to appear as if he's the one who is taking care of interest. Remember, the moment Uhuru Kenyatta was exiting office, there was the question of who would be the next Kikuyu kingpin. Then, by good luck, things fell in place for Rigathi Gachagua when he became the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. So one of his biggest tasks is basically to appear to protect the interest of the Kikuyus. That's why he was very clear that the government is kind of a shareholder holding company, where those who voted for him, for the government, gets majority. Those who didn't vote don't get. And that can also explain why at some point in time, Rigathi Gachagua ensured that the appointments, he made it public, that the appointments which were going to come was going to be like Kamau Njuguna Njoroge, Kamau Njuguna Njoroge, Kimani. Because he wants to be seen to be supporting or defending the interests of the Kikuyus. And my other point, I tend to think Rigathi Gachagua locked Sakaja because of Musalia Mudavadi factor. There is the Musalia Mudavadi factor, which is really disturbing Rigathi Gachagua. And that factor is not going to disappear anytime soon. Rigathi Gachagua will have to continue dealing with the Musalia Mudavadi factor, whether he likes it or not, because Ruto is really building Musalia Mudavadi. Today, Musalia Mudavadi is in another country, and I can't even pronounce the name of that country. Yet, Rigathi Gachagua is yet to be assigned such kind of high-level assignments. When Rigathi Gachagua sees Sakaja, he sees Mudavadi. By inviting Mudavadi to this meeting, by inviting Sakaja to this meeting, according to the mind of Rigathi, he was inviting Musalia Mudavadi. He would not want anything which is going to give credit, any credit to Sakaja, to Mudavadi. And lastly, I tend to think that it's about the Nairobi politics. And my message to Sakaja, here's options, is that Rigathi Gachagua and Kimani Ichung'wah and other Kikuyus in Kenya Kwanza are going to sponsor a candidate in Nairobi, either through Kenya Kwanza, either through UDA, but they're going to sponsor a candidate. I don't know, maybe you are aware, or maybe that's why you are now leaning towards Azimio, I don't know. But they are keen on Nairobi. So because they are keen on Nairobi, there's no way they can do things which will favor you. This meeting, in Sakaja's absence, in my view, is a big blow to him. And that's exactly what Gachagua had intended. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.